Welcome to another episode of Caleshire Gardens, where we talk about gardening and chicken topics. Today, what I want to do is talk about mounding potatoes that are being grown in bags. We just preferred not to dig, and we grew potatoes in bags last year, just 2 bags, and it did really well. And so we've expanded it to 11. You can see most of them in the shot. It's an easy way to do it. It keeps it contained, uses less soil. So what you have to do is get certified potato seeds, potato starts, right? And you cut them up into quarters. You make sure they have 1 or 2 eyes on them. You put in 3 inches of soil at the bottom. You put in your seeds, and then you put 3 to 4 inches of soil on the top. You can amend it with bone meal and scratch in some Epsom salt to help it get started. Bone meal adds to the root growth, or aids in the root growth. From there, as they start to sprout, you'll see them come up over the surface, and then when they get about 6 inches tall, you're going to want to then start to add soil. So we are way past that point. As you can see, they've been doing extremely well, and we've been adding in soil called mounding. You basically want to make sure that you're covering up any potato growth, because potatoes in the sun can turn green, and it's kind of, I believe it's toxic. Don't quote me on that, but it's not good. You don't want your potatoes to turn green, so you keep them covered. Now, since potatoes also only grow, again, research, potatoes only grow in the 12 inches above the seed. So these bags are, I think, about 16 inches tall. We've got 3 inches on the bottom. So it's about 13 inches to the top. So that's what I plan on doing, and that's what we did last year, is we're gonna fill it up to the top. So now we've gotten close to that point. I'm just gonna add in more soil to each of these, and I'm not gonna go through adding into each. I'll just kind of add into one, but let's talk about the soil. So what I do with the soil, I actually start off with certified compost that I get from our county landfill. They go through the process of making sure that it is done to proper specifications, and it works really nicely for us. So I'll start with that, and I'll add in some sphagnum peat moss, some perlite, and then a little bit of the bone meal every so often, just kind of mixed in. And I'll mix all of that together. It creates a very light, fluffy, like potting soil, because you want there to be very little resistance for the potatoes to grow, right? So we make up this mix. I keep it in this container over here, so it's easily accessible to my potatoes, and I already have it all mixed up and ready to add. The mixture makes it super light, so I can one-hand this shovel with no problem. You may use a spade. Of course, I can't find my spade, but you know how that goes. So I'm just gonna basically drop it in, and I don't worry about covering up the leaves for the moment. I'm just gonna move it around and agitate to get the soil around, pick out any leaves that I just covered. And my goal here is to make sure that I am covering any growth of the potatoes that I can see, which I shouldn't really see because it should be further down, but just continuing to mound up. So at this point, I still have some that are a little low. I don't know if you can see which one I was just working with. Yeah, so it's this one here. So I have some leaves that I can see that are still a little low as far as where the stems are and where the leaves are protruding. So I probably won't add any more soil to this, but we'll just keep going until we get to the top of the bag, and then we'll stop adding the soil. Then the next phase, keep it watered. Potatoes love water, they need water. And once they get to a point where the leaves start to turn yellow and brown, they will, and they look like they're dead, right? That's when your potatoes are ready. that's when the majority of your potatoes will be ready. You can get some baby potatoes before that if you feel like harvesting early and getting those, you know, nice, small, tasty looking potatoes. I believe these take about 75 days from start, somewhere around there, 70 to 80 days or so. We've got red Yukon, we've got Yukon Gold, we've got red, and then we have these purple ones, which we never grew before, so that's pretty cool. But that's it. That's growing potatoes in bags. It's very, very easy. And, you know, I went with this method instead of the tower method, because one thing I learned about the tower method is that, you know, you continue to grow up and up and up on the tower. Some people, you know, will have 3 foot, 4 foot towers, and the potatoes only grow in the top 12 inches above the seed. So I guess you could do that and grow them out and mound the soil up 12 inch. I don't know how you would do it. So I just kind of abandoned that idea and went back to the potato bag, you know, growing in the bags, which is what I did the previous year with good results. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I will get back to you. Again, I am an amateur at this, learning as I go, but I have been growing my own vegetables since 2009. So, you know, 12 years into this, I've learned a lot. I'm still learning. It's a process, and you make changes and adjustments every time you plant something new. But feel free to ask. And if you like this video and found it valuable, please like, subscribe to the channel for more videos. I'm going to keep making videos about the different plants that I'm growing at different stages. You know, these were already planted, obviously, a while ago, and so I couldn't show the process of actually planting, but taking care of them and getting them to the point where you can harvest them, I think that's a useful video to make. So, all right, thanks for watching.